Welcome to another episode of All Four Downs podcast. I'm your host, Ovi Muniz. With Hector V, we are getting set for the NFL Week 15.
Ta-da!
Yeah, I hear you, brother. But I couldn't start without saying that the Wrestling with Character, which is a wrestling promotion, will be featuring this Sunday, this weekend, December 14th. Teenage superstar AJ Francis will be there. And yes, the Victorious BRG is an interactive pre-show at 4, wrestling action at 6. Is at the VFW Post 511. Is wrestling with character, with family fun, action-packed wrestling, comedy, and all the above, especially the audience participation. It is the holidays as we get set for Christmas and New Year's. It is wrestling with character, the holiday hijinks. You want to get your tickets now at wrestlingwithcharacterlive.com. And we're starting right away. We are starting right away. And listen, in the AFC, the competition is real when it comes to Denver and New England. Both teams are going to be battle tested this week. We're going to predict those games momentarily. But both teams 11-2. No one saw that coming. People are predicting that Buffalo and Kansas City will once again run the table. But as you can see, both teams got to play right this week, or they could really look at some type of elimination depending on the other teams that's happening this week. But Hector, before we move on to the NFC, big surprise with Denver and New England, and also you calling that you didn't trust Indianapolis Colts, and yet you're backing it up. You didn't give in, and they signed a grandfather of Philip Rivers to the team.
Yeah, I mean, I believe Riley Leonard's supposed to be get the start, maybe, I think, with Rivers backing him up if possible, but it doesn't matter right now for the Colts. I mean, with Daniel Jones gone, that deflates the whole offensive side of the ball there. I mean, I don't see how they can try to regather themselves with this. I
Mm.
mean, Houston and Jacksonville, I think they're just going to run the table and finally put the horse to sleep, out in the barn, put him back in the barn. Seriously. I mean, it was a good run while it lasted, but it just, to me, again, the level of competition that they were playing, they weren't playing nobody. When they finally got physical with the top dogs, their true colors just showed them. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on the Colts or anything, but it
No, you
just
you good.
that's just the way it is. But looking at the field now, I think Jacksonville could be the hot team here, and catching fire at the right time. And it's still football to play. They could catch either New England or Denver if possible for that number 2 spot.
Right. 4 games left, and anything could possibly happen because each week the standings just goes flip flop. They do have Brett Rippon as a backup quarterback. Yes, Riley Leonard, still a rookie. He has potential. I mean, this is the guy that transferred to Notre Dame. He
Right from
did
Duke,
play in the
yeah.
playoffs for Notre Dame and was
Hmm.
unsuccessful. But moving on, like, does he have what it takes? Can he lead that team? And you're right. I mean, they got to really establish the run game in order to do something. The
Yeah.
Chargers, on the other hand, they're going to go against the Chiefs this weekend, and they're sitting tight there. But anything could possibly happen there as well. Chargers lose, and they could like move out of seed number 5 and drop maybe to number 6, right? And it's saying depending on the circumstances. Or listen, anything could possibly happen, right? Texas could win, the Colts could win. There's so much maneuver when it comes to the wild card. Okay,
Hmm.
so we got to keep that in mind. But there is still a little bit of cushion, especially for the Chargers and the Bills, but not so much for the Kansas City Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens, and even surprisingly the Miami Dolphins. I mean, you would thought that they were just out of it, but they're getting hot at the right time. So, but if you look at the top 4, I mean, the weakest link is the NFC North. I mean, Steelers at 7-6. Like you can't trust that, and the fact that their star defensive What's his name? Oh God, I even forgot his name. What's his name? Oh,
TJ
Yeah,
Watt.
Watt. He's been hospitalized today.
Yeah.
They're checking
Mhm.
his lungs, so we don't even know if he's going to be able to be playing this weekend. I
All
mean, we're
right.
talking about lungs, man, especially in the cold. But moving
Yeah.
on to the NFC, the LA Rams look like they're running away over there. They're hot. I mean, the best defense in the NFL right now. Green Bay got a awesome win, getting them to number 2 seed, and then the Eagles and Bucks, right? And Bucks look good at the beginning, but they're almost similar to the Colts. They're fine. They're in a decline right now.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, but
Mhm.
it always seems to be like that the weakest division leader always seems to flourish, wants to step it up when it gets to the playoffs. Look what happened last year when Minnesota got into the playoffs, 14 and
Mhm.
2, right? Was it 15 and 2? I thought they were going to make a big run, and they got swallowed in the first round. It was like, are we serious right now? So,
Right.
Tampa Bay, they got to worry about themselves right now, trying to win that division. Because look at number 9, Carolina. They're creeping. They're
No, they're
creeping.
they're already there. I mean, they're tied in first place, but
Yeah,
the Bucks do have that division. You're absolutely right.
but
NFC
the
South is there to grab.
but the West, man, it is so tight that the Niners are number 6 and yet can still get number 1 because they're only a game out of first. That is just that West is a beast.
Look, let's just break it down right now. You talking about the West, the Rams, the 49ers, right? Then look at the North. You got the Packers, okay? The Lions, and the Vikings,
Mhm.
they're trying to hold on. The Bears, right? So like Green Bay lose, Chicago win. That's a big jump, right? That's a flop, right? And it seems like it's a must win for the Lions, but the Lions play the Rams,
Yeah.
right? So there is so much going on here. Like next week, we could see something totally different. And then on top of that, what gets to me, Seattle Seahawks are 10-3, which is almost equivalent as the LA Rams. Okay. They got offense and defense, and yet at 10 wins, they're still in the wild card,
Hmm.
which I just wish they could at least switch it up and reward the team, the wild card team that's better than a division team, reward them with a home game.
I agree. I mean, they should put it based on record. Now,
Mhm.
if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. I
Correct.
mean, right. So like
Just like college football.
Tampa Bay, give them the number 7 seed, the lowest seed, but you still make it because they're a division winner. However,
Mhm.
everybody else need to be ranked according to their record, not because they didn't win their division.
Mhm.
Seattle, San Francisco, and the Rams. We know that they have to play each other. There's going to be losses there automatically, so they're going to beat each other up a little bit, and that's the hope for teams like the Bears, and the Lions, and maybe even the Panthers. If we can see the West get beat up in each other, then we got a chance
Mhm.
of rising up and trying to catch one of them. But right now, the 49ers, if they continue on winning, it's going to be tough to catch them. It's going to be tough.
Right. I'm looking at the bottom between the Cowboys and Vikings that both of them are going to face each other in Dallas this weekend, and the loser is going to be eliminated. And even that, even if the Cowboys win, I just don't see them catching up to the 7th seed. I think right now, 2.5 games is too much for Cowboys to even catch up. And I would even doesn't even cross my mind that the Detroit Lions, they're
Well,
not going to lose the rest of the way. You know what I mean?
and
Like,
and think and here's another thing to add to that,
mhm,
what you just said. Look at the 3 teams ahead of the Cowboys: the Bears, the Lions, and the Panthers. They all own the Cowboys head to head this year. They all beat the Cowboys.
you might
So
as well put the E in front of Dallas.
exactly. So that's the thing. So Dallas has to hope to try to win out and hope that
Mhm.
those 3 in front of them collapse, literally,
Right,
because you don't own the tiebreaker on neither other any of those 3 teams.
right.
So
So I'm still gonna stick with my pick. I did pick in the preseason that the Rams are the Super Bowl champs. But now I am very certain that the Rams will play the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I do believe that that's the game.
Right.
I'm gonna make
I,
that official.
okay. I mean, I
But here's
respect
another
that.
catch. The Patriots are playing the Bills, but the Patriots coming from a bye week. So I'm just
Right.
curious to see, do they still have that rhythm?
Hmm. Yeah.
You know? So we'll
Rest is
see.
good. Rest is good, but when you don't, but when you lose, when you get rest, you can lose a rhythm. You're right.
You're absolutely exactly.
Yeah.
And that's okay if you're off a week. You just gotta learn how to bounce back. So let's go ahead and move on to the game today. You decided to pick the Thursday night football game as
Right.
part of your top six. The Buccaneers are
Hmm.
favored at 6 points. I'm gonna say that you're taking the Bucks on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bucks on this one because I mean I've taken the Falcons a couple of times this year, and they seem to fail me every time I pick them. I mean, it's like I don't get you. I get Tampa Bay is not doing as well, but because they're not exactly lighting up the world on fire with trying to win the South, letting the Panthers catch up to them. But to me, the Falcons are dead in the water right now, and I believe Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan are back, or should be back for tonight's game. I think that should
Correct.
help. That should boost the Buccaneers up a little bit here. Look, the Falcons to me has been very inconsistent, with Kirk Cousins, as quarterback. So I think if the Bucks can get a good run game going, and I think their run defense on the other side can hold up against these Falcons, I think this should be, I won't say an easy win because it is a division game, but it should be a win for the Buccaneers. So yeah, I'm taking the Bucks.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the Sunday's game, which you have the Vikings. Is this a Sunday game? Yeah, it is a Sunday game.
It's
Right.
Sunday night football. Yeah,
Right. Sunday night
yeah.
football. You have the Vikings versus the Cowboys. Cowboys are favored at 5.5. I'm gonna assume because you live in Texas, you're taking Dallas.
Just because I live in Texas doesn't mean I'm going for them, but not for that reason. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I get what Minnesota did last week, but you look at that Washington team that was just dismantled all over the place. They did what they wanted to do against the Commanders last week, but I don't see them doing that against this Cowboy team. The Cowboys, their offense is just an explosive thing going on in Dallas. I
It's a
think
fluke. I'm gonna tell you right now. That game was a fluke. How you lose to Seattle 26-0 and bounce back the following week, winning 31-0 to a banged up Washington Commanders.
yeah,
They're
no,
banged
I
up.
get it. I
Right.
get it. I get it.
And
And I
watch
think that
this. Watch. This is my favorite. You ready? Green Bay, 6 points. You get shut out by Seattle. Then you supposed to play your A game. And now you're going on the road to Dallas, which Dallas
Mhm.
is hungry. I just don't see how the Vikings will score. I don't think they're going to reach the end zone against the Cowboys.
The only consistency that the Vikings have is that they're inconsistent week after week.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that even though the Cowboys defense is not all that, but I think they should do enough to put Minnesota down like a wounded dog.
I think the Vikings invested in the wrong person. I think they should have kept Sam Darnold and not pursue a quarterback and focus more on the defensive side of the house. And because of that, the Vikings are where they're at. They were contenders, and as soon as they made changes to where they thought McCarthy was going to be the one, it was that was it.
Hmm.
It's a wrap, and it's a wrong investment. Something similar that the New York Giants did when they went and invest Daniel Jones instead of keeping Saquon Barkley. So, and again, congrats to them winning 31-0. But again, you're talking about you're playing against a bunch of second stringers in Washington because they're hurt, and then Jalen Daniels he got hurt in the game and he was out, and I don't even know if he's going to return this season. So
Yeah, I don't, at this
right,
point, why even try?
right, it's already a washed up. So join the Giants and see who gets a better draft for April. But let's
Yeah.
go ahead and move on to talking about the Commanders and the Giants. That is our next pick. We have similarities there. Giants are favored at 2.5, and because the way the Commanders play last week, I don't expect Jaden Daniels to be back. Um, and I'm trying to check to see if I see the report if he's going to be in or out. But I don't trust Marcus Mariota. I don't think he's a great quarterback. Then again, I don't even like him as a backup. It's just a different rhythm to the offense. And Jackson Dart will be back, and he's going to handle his business. But I'm more focused on the run game in this, and I believe that the Giants has a slight edge on the Commanders. So I am taking the Giants to beat the Commanders.
Yeah, I agree with what you said there. I'm surprisingly taking the Giants over the Commanders here. I think they're just more healthier, they're more stable than what the Commanders are right now. I mean,
I
this is
think
not.
because of lack of defense. I mean, that could be a I mean, not defense, the lack of head coaches. I mean, are we on our fourth and fifth string of coaches? Because you fired a head coach, you put one in there. It's just a mess. The defensive
Uh,
coordinator gets fired.
mhm.
Everybody's getting fired in the Giants locker room. So
And the Giants have shown that they could put up points lately against the good teams. They should have been finishing them out. They
mhm.
haven't. But I think if they start going on an offensive barrage against Washington, there's no coming back for Washington to win this game.
But
No.
it's hard to pick the Giants coming out of a bye.
I know. We
The
know that.
Giants don't have a great record after a
No.
bye. And I
No.
wouldn't be surprised if the Commanders, but it's just the health of the Commanders. I think that this is going to be a tight game all the way to the end. Maybe not a game to do you want to spend time watching. I don't
Right.
think anything great is going to happen, but it is what it is. All right, another game that we talked about here is the Bills and the Patriots. Wow. Man, everything's kind of like resemble everything together. Buffalo's actually favorite. It's a pick'em game, but Bills are
Mhm.
favorite by a point and a half. What's your take on this?
I just have a hard time thinking that the Patriots are going to sweep the Bills. This is not your ordinary Buffalo team. Josh Allen under the helm there. And I just think this is going to be the L that Patriots are going to take after winning 10 in a row and coming off a bye week. Yeah, you may be rested, but do you have that momentum going into this game? I know you're at home, but Buffalo is not going to be an easy picking for you. So I just think Buffalo is just going to pull this one out. I just got a good feeling about it.
Um, I'm sorry to break it to you, but the Bills have no defense. They have no defense. And watch this. Let's do some comparison. The Bills played Tampa Bay and beat them 44-32. The Patriots play a different type of football, and they won 28-23 against Tampa Bay. They're more defensive minded, and they're able to slow down the Bills' offense. And then the Patriots could handle and win the time of possession. The Patriots will sweep the Bills. I don't think we're so accustomed of all these teams like the Chiefs and the Bills to trying to run it up in the AFC. And once you think like they got it, then they don't got it. And the era of the Bills right now and the Chiefs is gone. And I won't be surprised if somehow Bills fall out and not make the playoffs.
Mm.
Honestly, I do believe the rise of the Texans. I do believe the rise of the Patriots. I really do. And the Chargers, the Broncos. We're naming teams that haven't even been in the playoffs. I think the Broncos made it last year, right?
I think, yeah,
And
I believe they did.
right, but like you didn't expect the Broncos to lead that division, right? The Jaguars, like there's so many open ends, like teams that we rarely even discuss are now in the playoff picture, and that's
Hmm.
that turmoil that's happening right now. But I am picking the Patriots to win. I think, and they get the job done at home. I really do. I do believe that. And yeah, I know they're coming off of a bye week, but they're playing every team right. Like the Giants, they won 33-15 2 weeks ago. They, you know, it's funny how you said because the Patriots been fighting against all these other teams, but the Patriots figured out how to calm down that Giants, especially how the conditions that they're in. Let's go ahead and move on to our next game familiarly. The Lions versus the Rams, favored at 6 points.
I don't have that game.
Oh no, well, I got that game. Um, if you're paying attention to the Lions games, you will notice that the good wins that they need, they don't have. They don't have any good wins. They beating up the teams that are garbage, but they're struggling against teams that are contenders. The Rams are at another level, and the Rams will go ahead at home, cover those 6 points, and beat the Lions.
I mean, I agree with you. I don't got that game picked, but
Right.
the way the Rams are playing, they're pumping on all cylinders right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Being at home, they need to do good. Right.
yeah, but you got to be careful because when they lost to Carolina, that was a shocking upset.
You're gonna have those games.
Yeah, you have a
You're
fluke,
not
right?
gonna finish undefeated, right? And yeah, I know that's probably their second, third loss, whatever. But yeah, it's understandable. But in this game, we could flirt around an NFC versus AFC battle, potential maybe a Super Bowl matchup. But it's the Packers versus the Broncos. The Packers are favored at 2.5. They're going to Mile High, and I kind of like disagree with the spread. And here's why. The Packers have not won in Denver in the last two appearances there. They
Hmm.
somehow find a way to turn over the ball. They find some way for the Broncos to get an edge. And that's even when the Broncos were not that great. That Denver finds a way to pull it at home. If this game was in Green Bay, that I would jump that wagon right there and say Green Bay do it. But this is going to be a close game, a one-score win in favor of the Denver Broncos.
Well, this is the other game that I have, and I feel like Green Bay can do this. I don't think Bo Nix has anything against this Green Bay's pass rush. And so I think Jordan Love is going to outplay him in Denver. I mean, if the Giants can almost do it, they almost pulled the rabbit out the hat in Denver before they had that fourth quarter meltdown. I don't see Green Bay being anywhere close to what the way New York played that game. I think Jordan Love is going to give a good shootout here, and he's going to win this game. I got the Packers over the Broncos.
All right. We got two differences.
Yes. And,
Yeah.
that, and that's the first time this year that we have two in a week like this.
Wow. Yes. I'm loving it. I am loving it. I'm liking it.
Ba-da-bum-bum-bum.
I'm winning. All right, the Chargers versus the Chiefs, rematch from week 1 that would took place in Brazil. Now they're in Kansas City. This is a must win for the Kansas City Chiefs. You might as well just look. I think right now the Chargers are very vulnerable. I really do. The way they're playing, their quarterback is not healthy. Um, Patrick Mahomes is looks like the only player in that team that's executing, and everybody else got butterfingers. Kelsey needs to retire, but not that quite. All right. Herbert's questionable. I think his non-throwing hand is one that's injured, but he's going to play. I mean, you look at Patrick Mahomes' number, he's already over 3,000 yards passing. He has 22 passing touchdowns, but he's been throwing a lot of interceptions late. He already has 10 in the season, but so has, Herbert. He's already thrown 11 interceptions. You're looking at the run game. I mean, the stats are kind of equal right now. And I know that the Chargers won in Brazil, but let's face it, the Chargers this season has not lost 3 in a row. They've lost twice back-to-back losses, and they're currently on a 2-game losing streak. I guess they can't play against anyone in Texas. They lost to Houston, lost to Dallas. Now they're hosting a game against the LA Chargers. I do believe that the Chiefs will etch it out and win this weekend.
Okay. It's not one of my games, but I do. I mean, as long as the Chiefs got who they have at quarterback, this they're gonna be dangerous. They're gonna be dangerous.
They're going to be dangerous
And
right
I know their
now.
record's not
And
showing.
no,
Yeah, I
no,
know their record doesn't
no.
show it, but I mean,
Mhm.
you can't count them out. They're not gonna finish no. They're not gonna lose out. They're gonna win
No.
some more games, and the Chargers better be careful, especially coming off that high
Yeah.
last week, beating the Eagles. So
Yeah. There's just something about the Chargers at this time that they don't even know how to win. You know how many times Harbaugh had that? Well, yeah, last year was the same way. They were hot at the beginning and then they started losing games at the end. So it's almost like they don't know how to finish the season. So uh moving on to Colts versus the Seahawks. You said it already how like you didn't trust the Colts and here and there, and now that Daniel Jones is out for the season, you would think that they would concentrate on the run game and help out their quarterback, but not so much. The Seahawks are going to run all over the Colts in Seattle. The 12th man that they have over there, Mary called him the 13th man too, because 13 and a half points, they're going to cover, and I bet you they'll double it for that win.
yeah, I think this is going to be a long day for Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have a long drive back to their house after this game.
Man, at that one point that they were leading in the AFC to be leading in the division, and now they're not even in the playoff picture. Wow, doesn't that hurt? That
No,
hurts. Is
that
that does that hurt more than Notre Dame not making the college football playoffs?
no, no. It just hurts more than Notre Dame getting to the national championship and not seem to win it.
Oh, well, that was I got my opinion on it, but it is what it is. That was last year. But let's go ahead and move on to your pick, Monday Night Football. I'm scratching my head as why you picked this game, but Dolphins versus
Because
Steelers.
yeah, because right now it's like at 6-7, the Dolphins lead the NFL in scoring defense, rushing yards per game. It's 6-7, and they also lead a turnover differential with a 7. So,
Ah,
but the Steelers have a 22-game winning streak at home on Monday Night Football, the longest of all time. Give me the Steelers in what could be possibly snowing that night. It's going to be frigid cold. The Dolphins are not going to know what to do in Pittsburgh. They're just going to go belly up. Give me the Steelers over the Dolphins.
I I don't know, man.
I know you don't like the Steelers. I know.
I know I'm going for the Dolphins, but this is not my pick.
Yeah.
I'm a haterade it. I might as well Dolphins versus Aaron Rodgers. Can I do that?
Just make sure you got enough sugar in that Gatorade.
So watch this, and this is why like the Dolphins are winning they've won 4 straight, which is good. They beat Buffalo. They beat Washington when they were good. Then you had the Saints and the Jets that added a little pudding in there, right? You're like, who the Jets? Who are they, right? And you look at the Steelers, but then I ask myself, who are the Ravens? Because they're playing garbage. They lost to Buffalo. They lost to the Bears. They they did smoke Cincinnati, but then they lost to the Chargers. So I'm looking in comparison. Yeah, the Steelers probably have a better strength of schedule compared to the Dolphins. But man, I can't dismiss how the Dolphins are on a winning streak. Like they're winning.
I know go from 2
I
to
know
7.
who they're playing against, but they're winning. So that's
I
like a
know.
major upset waiting to happen.
4 weeks ago, we didn't think they were going to be tied with the Chiefs. I mean, at 2-7, like
you're absolutely right. Absolutely.
Wow.
Steelers versus Dolphins. I'm just curious about their history right now, and see what it is that they have done in Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh leads the series 15-14, and the last time they were in Pittsburgh, Miami defeated Pittsburgh 27. No, I lied. Pittsburgh won 27-14. They won the last 2 meetings in Pittsburgh. Is that when they're in Miami, they do well. So I think that home field advantage is in favor of the Pittsburgh Steelers. But wow, you talking about a winning streak, 22 in a row? Let's go for that snap. Give them that big L. Come on, Miami. I'm gonna root for Miami. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bye-bye, Aaron Rodgers.
RELAX.
Yeah, listen, man, I could go on and just talk smack, but they get paid big dollars, right? So I'm sure whatever they do, right? But as a fan, I have every right to have a favorite and a villain and everything else, right? So at the beginning, I was an Aaron Rodgers fan to like the last, ever since he went to the Jets, just felt a little sour, you know, and
Boy, I would hate to see if we went to the Giants. Boy, you hate on the Giants.
I was handing my own team with Brian Dable, and finally they listened. And I'm gonna tell you right now, listen, this theme of the NFL, and by all means, you could check my validation, check my credibility. If you go on the website 4downs3counts.com, right? And if you look at my blogs, I feel like I saw the future when it comes to coaches. Every time I mention a coach, they're fired. I wrote an article about the Michigan head coach, Sharon Moore, that he is on the hot seat because the way that offensive played against Ohio State, all of a sudden, yesterday, breaking news. Uh, Fired because of off the field BS. And then on top of that, he gets arrested. I'm like, good Lord. When he
Yeah.
got fired, he went all the way. So I don't know the whole truth about what happened there. But then I wrote about Brian Dable. 2 weeks later, he's fired. Okay. So, and now I'm looking at all these other coaches. Like, for example, the Raiders. I don't think Pete Carroll will be back. I think that roster needs to be revamped, everything, you know, and it just come to point where you ask yourself, Seattle got rid of Pete Carroll as a head coach to put him in administration. He left there to coach again, and now I respect Seattle the way they did it because if you look at them now, they're 10-3.
Mm-hmm.
They knew change had to be done. The era is over for Pete Carroll. You had your celebration with USC. You had your Super Bowl win with Seattle. You just can't repeat it. Look at Bill Belichick. His time was up already. The strategy, the way you did things, it was good in your era. And you did a fabulous job. It's hard to do,
Yeah.
right? It's like the New England Patriots of NFL and then the Atlanta Braves of the MLB. You had your time. You had your run, but it's time. The coach, you got to go, coach. Thank you, coach. You're a legend, but you got to let it be.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I think there's going to be at least six are going to be replaced in the NFL. I really do. I'm
No.
just curious to see who's going to take over the New York Giants. That's another one. Were there any other coaches so far in the NFL?
No.
Yeah, the Titans. They fired their coach.
Oh, Vrabel?
Nah, nah,
Oh,
nah,
no.
nah, nah.
Oh, that's
Remember, he's New England.
he's been
But
knowing it. Yeah, not Tennessee.
yeah, but the coach didn't even last the season. He out.
They
Yo,
don't. They don't
crazy,
even have the number one draft pick either.
nah. And that's another thing. Like, they're afraid of, oh no, we can't assume that we're tanking. Go ahead and tank, bro. You already know. But hey, it is what it is. It's kind of hilarious how things go. And then is Miami Dolphins on the hot seat? Now they won 4 in a row, but all these things about the coach is gonna get fired. Could he be next? It's a lot, man. It's a lot, and I'll run it down to you real quick. Hold on for a second. Let's look at the standings real quick, and then here's another one. Should the Cincinnati Bengals get a new head coach? How and we watched football in the 80s, early 90s, and why is it that a backup quarterback cannot perform just like the starter?
Right.
Remember Phil Simms got hurt, Jeff Hostetler took over, and they still did what they had to do, right? I don't see that
49ers.
a lot. The
49ers.
Buffalo Bills is another one. Jim Kelly got hurt. Frank Reich was the backup quarterback, and he did an awesome job.
The 49ers, Montana got hurt. Steve Young stepped up.
Yeah, Steve Young went out. Who was after Steve Young?
It
Wasn't
was
it Garcia?
yeah, Jeff Garcia, yeah.
I mean, he didn't take him to the prominent, but there was still winning
Still
team.
winning, yeah.
You know, where is the second string quarterback? You know, how come they're not getting enough reps compared to the starter?
Right.
Everyone was always prepared. Next man up. I just don't see next man up when it comes to the quarterback position.
Yeah.
And then Arizona, is Kyler Murray going to be still the quarterback?
They probably just need to let him go.
He need to go to baseball.
Yeah.
There's no height requirement in baseball.
Right.
Yeah. Anyhow, we're just venting and stuff like that, but it's all good. You know, we got our picks. What's your picks? Go ahead and follow us on Facebook, YouTube, subscribe, follow, and leave your comments. Oh, we got some stuff in the chat, man. Let's go back. Let's go visit the chat real quick.
Got in the chat. Right now, the Bucks are up 7-0.
Oh, buddy. Dennis Kahn says the Bills are beating them patty cakes this weekend. Go Bills. All right, Dennis. Big shout out to you. Much love. I will call you when I go back to Georgia, and we'll definitely hook up. But about your Bills. Your Bills are suspect. Just saying. They suspect. He went on to say, let me see. The only QB is MVP is Josh Allen. I think you're going to have to cancel that. I think somebody else is going to be the MVP this year. Yeah. And it's the team that's going to make it to the playoffs. Is your Bills going to make it? Because if they lose, I'm going to call you.
I think Matthew Stafford right now is probably leading the way.
Matthew Stafford looking good. And it's probably his last season in the NFL, too.
Yeah, he's got a ring. He ain't got nothing to show for it no more.
Yeah. Let James Cook cook. Maybe he being cooked. Just saying. And lastly, he says Indianapolis should just run the Wildcat better than wheelchair Willie coming back. I was really surprised that that the coach went ahead and looked for Phillip Rivers. I really am surprised.
That's desperate.
Like, huh?
That's desperate.
Desperate. I mean, you're talking about a guy that hasn't. How many years has he been out?
I think it was like 4 or 5 since COVID. I think they said 2021, so about 4 years at the minimum.
I mean, who's gonna come back after 4 years? As he Mace, the rapper Mace, when he left hip hop, came back to hip hop, and it's like
I think he left the NFL when we started the podcast. I mean, good Lord. I mean, and we never heard from him since until now.
Oh man,
that's just desperate, man. You got it, golly.
Yeah, I do believe that. I do. Yeah, but hey, we're moving on. We're closing out the show. Don't forget to tune in to 4downs3counts.com. You can also tune in next week, because not only we're going to continue with our next week's picks, but also predicting the college football playoff bracket. I have my winner. The question is, do you? And I'm not on the bandwagon, but I'm going to speak the truth when I make my predictions next week. We got that and much, much more. Tune in also. Coming up next is the HHW Show podcast, predicting for this weekend, Saturday night, main event, the last match of John Cena. We got that and more, baby. Oh, yeah. Gotta love some football.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching, everyone. Take care.